Well, good morning everybody and welcome to that Kentuckessee Angler Show. Today's video is all about that soft plastic craw. We're going to be talking about the basics, exploring two beautiful bodies of water and catching some fish. We're going to start out simple with rigging, get into some techniques, and then start exploring and catching some fish out here. Craw wise, we're working with a variety, but I did want to start out with the net bait mini kicking B. So here's a look at that bait close up, and we are going to be running a standard Texas rig on it. If you're unfamiliar with that, I'm going to show you right now. So we are running a 1/8 ounce sliding bullet weight right here. No need for a peg, not today. And you want the point of that weight sticking upward. So the pointy side faces up. It's just going to come through the water better that way. We are working with a 2/0 EWG. It's going to fit this bait very well, though we will be messing around with a couple different hook sizes for our other craws out here. And rigging is very, very simple. Now, rigging the actual craw, you're simply going to take your hook point and you're going to stick it through the butt of that craw right there, right till it gets to about that bend, and you're going to want to pop it through, right? Now slide that hook, slide that craw up on the hook. You're going to slightly rotate it, right? And it's going to be looking something like this, just kind of hanging there, right? And you want your eye covered by that plastic for the most part. It's going to help you out with some snags, running into stuff, just kind of collecting weeds out there. You're going to want to line your craw up with that hook right here at the bottom of the hook. That's where you want to be poking through. And you're just going to push your craw up, right? Poke that hook through, and this is basically what you're going to end up with. Well, we do have a hook slot right here. I am going to tuck the point of that hook up in that craw. If I'm working a lot of weeds, a lot of grass, I'm going to really dig it in. For what we're working right now, which is a little bit of scattered rock out here in a muddy bottom, we're just going to barely poke that hook tip in the plastic. So we're going to be starting out with a 7'1" medium fast action spinning rod. I did bring a couple rods out with me. We have another medium stick and a heavy rod as well for some larger craws that we're going to be throwing, but I am running 8-pound fluorocarbon. Now, rod choice and line type don't matter that much for this bait. You can get away throwing it on just about anything. Your casting gear, your spinning gear, your spin cast gear, if that's what you like to use. You're not going to have too many issues with this bait. It's a very, very simple rig and it's very easy to work. First technique we're going to get into is dragging this bait. So you're going to cast it out there. This is a fairly popular retrieve when it comes to this one. You're going to let it sink, maybe give it a couple pops on the way down, pick up that slack line. I like to raise my rod tip to maintain tension on that line in case we get bit immediately out there. And then you're going to start dragging it through the water by raising your rod tip, letting it fall down, maybe giving it a couple more pops. You're going to raise it up again, and you're basically just dragging that craw through the water. This can be pretty effective when these bass are lethargic and when you got a slow bite going on out there. So the next technique we're going to talk about is swimming that craw. And this works better when you have something like this with some flappers that are meant to put out a motion when it is moved in the water. Many craws are like that. It's a lot more common than finding one that isn't built like that. And basically, you're going to cast this out there and do just that. You're going to swim it back to you. Again, I'm going to let this hit the bottom, give it a couple pops, couple little twitches right there, and you're going to raise it up, and you're working this technique with a little more reel than dragging it, okay? So we're going to pick it up again, and we're kind of just swimming it through where I feel is comfortable in the water column, where I think those fish are going to be, occasionally letting it fall down, touching bottom, picking it back up, and continuing to swim that bait, giving those claws a nice little motion in the water. You can see it right there. Personally, I like to use a mix of both techniques out here. We're just going to cast it in, and one thing to keep in mind is the speed of your retrieve, which you should vary a bit until you key in on a good bite out here. I'm going to let that fall. I'm going to give it a couple twitches. I'm going to slowly start working that bait back to me, kind of swimming, kind of dragging. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to run some fast, I'm going to run some slow, and once I get something to bite, I'm just going to rinse and repeat and continue with that technique. So pretty simple bait to work, right? A couple easy techniques to kind of help you find your way, and you will find what works for you out here. Now let's go break that skunk. We're dealing with some pretty high water levels here. I love this spot. It holds some really nice fish, but I haven't been able to fish in about 5 months due to high water level out here. So we did make a little trek through that wood line over there, and we're coming out right here. Now this is a lot more submerged than I expected it to be. It is a point though, and hopefully it's hidden right now. And here we go. We are fishing a very muddy bottom today with some scattered rock. It's a very good largemouth fishery. We're going to be a little limited in the spots we can access in this area, but we are going to hit a couple of different bodies of water in this video. I'm pretty confident we'll be able to catch some fish out of this one right here though. There we go, fish on, my friends. Our first one, that skunk breaker. She's not huge, but this fish is so crucial to my confidence right now. This is actually one of the smallest fish I've ever caught in this area. She's gorgeous. As is tradition, I do this on all my videos. I have to show off the first fish of the day because we do really appreciate her. Tiny little juvenile largemouth. So as you can see, we are in an entirely different area. I ended up fishing out that spot for about 45 minutes and decided to jump over to this other side where there's very, very limited bank. Let me show you what I'm working with. Basically, we have this thin little strip to walk on. Thankfully, I have my boots on right now, so I am able to get in the water a little bit, and we have an abundance of structure right here. This is also a little bit shaded. That sun came up quick. I didn't get a single strike. I didn't see very much activity out there at all, man. And it was pretty demoralizing, but that's just fishing, man. It's not always easy, but we got that skunk off our back. I'm feeling a little bit better. We're gonna continue to fish this area and just start kind of working this bank out here, throwing out a couple tips and pointers along the way. So I did end up making a switch to that baby rage craw. Good looking bait right here. It's nice, it's finesse. I felt it was my best bet. I did bring out a handful of craws and we're gonna continue to rotate through them, but this is what they decided to eat. And we got that same 2/0 hook and that 1/8 ounce bullet weight. We're gonna catch some bigger fish, I promise. Now, first little thing is when to fish a soft plastic craw. I'd answer that, I think most people would, by saying any time of year, summer, spring, fall, winter even. If your bass are eating soft plastics, if they're eating craws, they'll probably munch a little soft plastic craw out there, right? Chances are if they'll eat, oh, there we go, fish, fish, fish. Yes. Oh, dude. That was not cool, man. That was not cool, but we're in a hot area. We're in a good area, okay. It's picking up. Chances are if they're gonna be munching soft plastics, they'll probably munch a soft plastic craw too. I'll tell you the one time I don't like throwing one of these baits is when I see the water's extremely active, when there's a ton of bait fish around and bass are just feeding up, busted on those. You won't catch me throwing one of these. I'm gonna throw something more bait fish oriented, but for the most part, summertime, when it's really hot out, when my water's fairly inactive like it is right now, this is a really, really great choice for me. It's something I can work slow. It's something I can work fairly fast, just kind of twiddle on the bottom, and it straight up gets bit. That was a loss. We couldn't afford out here the way today's been going. It's been going slow, but things might be picking up. We might be on some more productive water. This is the same body of water, just about a 10-minute walk, something like that, to another bank. There we go, fish on, and a decent one, man. It's about time. All right, let's not celebrate yet. That's a beautiful bass. Thinking a largie. Come on in. Come on in. Oh yeah, she's an absolute boot. That's what we came out. Oh, dang, she ran me. That's what we came out here for today. Oh, yes. Sweet, sweet victory, man. What an absolute day maker. Just look at her. Well, there we go, my friends. An absolutely gorgeous largie. I mean, just look at her. That's what we came here for. She's beautifully colored up, man. Just look at that green. Very, very healthy, thick, well-fed, and munching that baby rage craw. Let's get her back in. That's why we came out here today, man. It's been a pretty tough, discouraging day, but man, it surely paid off. Sticking to our guns, keeping that craw floating out here. All right, girl. Well, thank you so much for biting. And on our way. Tore me up pretty good. Good stuff, my friends. Good stuff. And our craw's in pretty great condition. Good stuff. So I'm really racking my mind right now, looking for anything that I might have missed about this bait. There aren't too many deep, dark secrets about it, at least none that I know about. It's a pretty well-rounded bait. We covered how to rig it, where, when to fish it, basically anywhere. I will stand by what I said about bait. When there's bait schooling in that area, you're not gonna catch me throwing a craw. When I'm seeing bass blow up on the bank, not gonna be throwing this little thing. But on a hot, kind of weird day where the fish seem really displaced and they're hard to pinpoint, it's a great time to throw this bait like today. And around that hard structure, they absolutely can't get enough of it. Obviously, it's getting munched out here. I don't think I'd do better with any other bait in today's conditions. But yeah, that pretty much covers it. We are creeping. We're on the move right now, actually trying to get under this tree again. I kind of explained that the bank access is very, very challenging at the moment, but I try not to get any spiders on my net. No, dude. But there is a little area over here I wanted to cast around at. Just a little kind of rock pile. Could be packing something, maybe, maybe not. We're about to find out. So this is the area I'm talking about. There are some scattered bits of this chunky kind of riprap type stuff just way out here. We're gonna throw some casts in this direction, kind of just work a clock really until we get a bite, kind of eat up the rest of the time I have available to fish today. Hopefully pull something nice. Yes, good fish. Okay, phone bite, man, phone bite. She's shrinking. Is she? Is she? Dude, what's going on here? Oh yeah, that's a fish. I was like, dude, I got a crazy stick on or something. All right, I think we had a fish stuck on like a stick. No, it's a nice bass, another nice largie on that foam bite. One of my favorite bites. Right next to that popping off a snag, catching a fish bite. Oh, we barely had her. Absolutely gorgeous, man. Another nice one. That's a decent fish. I mean, she's not a giant. She's not nearly as big as that first one, but she's really, really pretty. That bite was super satisfying. She spit my craw somewhere. She definitely doesn't have it in her mouth anymore. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Let's get her back in, man. Turned out to be an awesome day. Started out tough, man, but we're pulling through. I think we pulled her from like right over here. Could be a good indication that there's some structure there I don't really know about. Maybe one of them rocks, big old one. Maybe a couple of them. Worth another cast, that's for sure. There we go. That's a fish. Oh yeah. Right out of that area, man. Making it really, really hard to leave on time today. Another super pretty one. We are just slamming them now. What happened, dude? It got hotter out. The sun came out a little bit and they started biting. Another super pretty one, my friends. Just look at her. Gorgeous. They're so healthy out of this water. Can't get enough of it, man. I gotta throw another one. So it looks like we found a little concentration of them out here and we worked hard for those fish. I'm upsizing my craw right now to a full-size rage craw. And something I can cast a little deeper with, considering they're decent sized fish, man. They're gonna have no problem munching this thing. I think it's just gonna help us stand out a little more out there. We'll see. There we go, fish on, fish on. Oh yeah. Come on in, bang. That's what I'm talking about. Another super pretty one. Well, there we go, guys. A little guy and a plump one. Very, very healthy fish, hard fighter. Got to be thankful for that. Out of that same area and on the full-size rage craw, not that baby one. Let's get her back in. Beautiful. Thanks for biting, girl. So when you do have your fish hit that bait and it flies off the hook, very, very easy to deal with, man. You're just gonna find that hole, use your line to kind of guide you, stick the eye back through it, and you're gonna do the same with the top of that craw. And there you go, ready to rock. Well, it is day 2 out here. We're on a different body of water in less than ideal conditions. I don't have too much time to fish today. It's about 90 degrees midday and we're working with a new craw today. So this is one I've never used before and I'm excited about getting on the water. It is the Z Craw Junior by Zoom. Here's a look at her out of her packaging and the color is California 420. Let's see what she can do. So rigging wise, once again, we're working with a Texas rig. I found a 2-aught EWG hook, fit this bait pretty well. almost on the slightly small side, but a 3/0 seemed a bit overpowered. So we went with the 2 right there, and we're running a 1/8 ounce bullet sinker to 8-pound fluorocarbon, running a medium spinning setup, and we have a medium casting setup with the same 8-pound fluorocarbon as well. And let's just take a look at her in the water. We got some really nice flap. I love the profile of this bait. I love how slender it is, and that color's just popping. That California 420, it looks really good in this water in our stainage right now. So we're fishing a local merino one I fish a lot. I live right down the street, so it's easy for me to come here and fish when I don't have as much time to get out on the water. And basically we're working with a giant man-made square. So we have riprap running the complete thing. We got a corner here, a corner there, little creek flowing in right here, as well as another corner, and the bigger river runs right down this way. That's where I'm thinking our best bet is going to be. At least I wanted to start out in this area and kind of work my way around here, see what we can do with this bad boy. It looks great in the water though. Let's see what she can do out here. And we're just going to start out by varying up our retrieve a lot, a bit of dragging, working it slower, working it faster, kind of swimming it almost, just to really key in on what they're eating. I really want to find that first fish, get that skunk off my back, and gain some confidence in this water for this time of day right now. The bite has been tough here the last couple times I've been in this area. There we go, fish on, my friends. Right at the feet, our first one. Oh, it's a nice one too. Oh, she's a beaut. Come on up here. Gorgeous, dude. That's what I'm talking about. That was quick too. She bit in a hurry. Get that out of you. Absolutely beautiful, my friends. She's a gorgeous one. Well, there we go, everybody. An absolutely gorgeous largemouth. Just look at her. She's surely a beaut. Got a little damage to that fin back there, but she's looking healthy. Let's get her back in. She's nice, thick, well-fed, and munching that craw. Thanks for biting, girl. So that was a beautiful first fish, got me feeling really good. We're gonna work our way down here to this little pocket. I wanted to throw some casts and start kind of working my way up this riprap, possibly hit that little creek. It looks like these storm clouds are fixing to pass right over us, so we might not get hit by that rain, which would be awesome today. And here we go onto the rocks again, just a ton of riprap. We're gonna work our way up to that pocket. I don't want to get in over there and spook everything that might just be sitting there at the moment, if anything is. I've actually trekked to a spot I haven't ever showed on this channel before. I really haven't had too much luck in this area in general. However, this is where the river flows in to what we're fishing. We were up on the other side of that tree line down there. We're gonna come down here, check out the sandy stuff, and see if we can catch something. I'm thinking these flow points are gonna make the difference. They could make the difference between us catching fish or not. These are all Asian carp bones out here. If you can see that, we have a massive silver carp infestation, and these are all vultures picking away at them. When people catch them, they just chuck them up on the bank. That's what you're supposed to do, really. Get them out of the water. So I did mention I fish this area a lot. I mean, I live right down the street. This is my go-to when I don't have a lot of time to fish, or if I have to come out midday and know I'm not gonna stay long. However, this little area right here, I can count on one hand how many times I've actually fished. I don't think I've ever even showed this on the channel before. I've known about it a while. It's just typically pretty crowded with people, which today we don't have too many, and a lot of catfish guys, so it's hard to really work a bait in the area. Great catfish spot, but that is the river right there, and it flows in right here. We have like kind of like a backflow right now. Super shallow right here, probably like 2-3 feet. Good fish. All right, that's what I'm talking about, my friends. We are on one. Beautiful. Within a couple casts here, maybe I got a new thing. I don't know. We'll see. A little largie right out of that little area. And like I said, it was very shallow water out there. There we go, my friends. Little largemouth, not quite the size of the first one we caught, but we're catching them out here in kind of a new area to me, so that's exciting. Always trying to find new spots, or even hitting spots within my old ones. Really easy to overlook areas like this. Really, I just don't like fishing around a bunch of people catfishing, but On a day like this, man, nobody's out here. Probably because it's extremely toasty and our craw's in pretty stellar condition. I'm really enjoying this thing. And let's just hop up here and check this stuff out. It's like we got a little riprap right here. Could be some fish chilling there. Maybe. All right, guys, so we're 100% getting hit right out here. I've just exposed my hook completely. Well, kind of completely. It's still up on that plastic, but I'm not poking it in anymore. I feel like they're pretty small and they're not taking this entire bait. There we go. We are on right off that rock. Looks like another little largemouth. Spot. Oop. All right, we'll take a look. There she goes. Well, I hope y'all have enjoyed the video so far. If you have, drop a like, subscribe. As a smaller channel, it really does more than you think to support me, and I greatly appreciate it. So if you're new to the show, if you're new to the channel, this is the part of the video where we take a deep dive into one of the baits we used in the making of the video, one of the baits we fished, kind of focused on, and today we're gonna be talking about that Zoom Craw Jr. But before we do, I just wanted to double back on something really quickly. So initially when I was talking about those two retrieves, something I wish I would have elaborated on a little bit more is stopping in the middle of them when you think you're in a fishy area. Say you bang up on a rock, something like that. This is personally what I like to do is while I'm swimming a craw, if I feel myself smack on something, I stop, right? I pause, I let that craw fall to the bottom, and I give it like a couple seconds. I twitch, you know, twitch. I pick that craw up and I keep swimming it through the water. My thinking is, hey, if there's a bass hanging out around that rock, you know, hiding up in that cover, and it sees this thing, maybe it'll be curious, it'll try to take a look at it, and I like to, boom, pull it right out of his face so he has to run and chase that thing down and take a bite out of it. That's the way I think about it. I don't know, I just wanted to throw that out there. I think I did a pretty good job explaining it, but if you never have fished one of these, well, that continuous motion will absolutely get bit. Those pauses can be crucial, especially on tough days, and they'll help you kind of get that reaction strike going, you know? Let it fall, pause for a second, snap it up, man, keep swimming it. That's how I like to think about it anyway. All right, that's all I have to say about that. Let's get into this. So here we have it, our Zoom Craw Jr. This is a 3.5-inch craw right here. Thanks for marking that down on the bag, Zoom. Psych, wait, no, they never do, and that drives me crazy. I have to look it up separately. But yes, this is a 3.5-inch craw right here, and it weighs in at roughly 6.36 grams. Aesthetically, I think it's a pretty sharp looking craw. I think it's a pretty neat looking bait right there. You have like some kind of, I guess you'd call that ribbing almost. You have a hook slot on either slide. I do appreciate that. You got your little flappers right here, and they are kind of raised right there, so they do pick up water and gives it a nice motion while it's cruising through the water. And you even have like little tentacle type things here, so it is fairly detailed, right? Can't complain about that. I absolutely love the color. So this California 420, man, California 420, dude, it shows up really great in stained water. As soon as I saw it hit that water, I'm like, okay, we're gonna have a decent day out here. That is what I like to see. So this bait's overall performance was excellent. It swam very well. Again, I mentioned these craws are designed to kind of have a nice little flap through the water. So if you're just swimming this craw, it's liable to get absolutely shredded. You know, it imitates either a craw or a bait fish very well. It's got a really great motion to it. And I love the size. I think that 3.5 inches right there at this kind of sleekness, it's a winner, man. I really enjoyed this. As soon as I popped it out of the bag, I was extremely confident. As soon as it hit the water and I saw that motion, I knew I wasn't gonna have too many issues. And on the water, it was a very hot day. It was a very strange day. I mean, we had supposed rainstorms coming through. They never hit, and then it got really, really sunny. Some of those clouds that were giving me a little shelter from the heat just dissipated, and I had to seek out that little bit of shade where we didn't end up pulling those fish from. But it was a tough day, and this craw did very, very well out there. I'm impressed. So durability wise, actually, let me find one of the ones that we used. I have both of them. I think I was out there for 2.5, 3 hours, and we only used, here's one right here, 2 craws. I didn't run through any of them, so I was able to like maintain the same 2 craws on each one of those rods. I unrigged them, threw them back in the bag. That's how good the condition was. This is one of the ones I used. You can kind of see it's cloudy, so there's no rippage on the outside. No visible stuff right here. That's where that hook was sitting. So you got that. Obviously it's separated a little bit, but for the most part, this bait's in great condition right here. We caught 3 fish off the same one. I want to say, I'm pretty sure I caught them all off my spitting rod, so same craw. I was able to reset it over and over and over again. Every little rock bump, rock snag, resetting that bait, no problems whatsoever. This isn't TPE, it's not indestructible. The Zoom makes some pretty great stuff when it comes to plastic. I am very partial to their stuff, and I definitely put it up there with like, it's some top tier durability, man. It's some good stuff for non-TPE plastic. No complaints right there. Packaging wise, gotta love it, man. Your standard Zoom soft plastic packaging. I mentioned before, they're like the Reese's peanut butter cup. They have excellent branding. They know they make great stuff. They don't need anything flashy, anything fancy. Just that red and yellow bag right there. You know you're gonna be in for probably a good time out there on the water. They got some good stuff right there. Simple packaging. My one complaint, something that I hate about Zoom, is that they don't put their length on their packaging. I absolutely can't stand it. How hard would that be? But they don't do that, so I had to look it up separately. It is 3.5 inches, just an extra step for me. I'm sure it doesn't matter for most people, but I'd like to know the length of a bait I'm working with here, okay? We are working with an 8-pack here, okay? So 8-pack, those are good numbers to me. That's what I look for, man. 8 and up is a fair quantity in my opinion. Once we start getting into like the 6s and lower, I start having to think about buying 2 bags, and I don't like that. I like 8s, 10s, and up, man. So a steady 8-pack, I'm with it 100%. Price-wise, okay, this is gonna vary, obviously, depending on where you buy your craws from. However, we're gonna be working with the Academy pricing. That's where I purchased these craws myself, and it's also the same as the Bass Pro Shop price, Bass Pro Shop's online listing currently. So it seems like a pretty solid one to go with. They're asking $5.79 for an 8-pack of craws. That's gonna be roughly 72-ish cents per unit right there, so per soft plastic craw. Last but not least, my personal opinion on the Z-Craw Junior. I absolutely love it. I'm disappointed in myself for not trying this craw sooner. This is like possibly my new all-time favorite craw that I've ever used. I enjoyed it way more than anything else I fished in this video, way more than the craws I've been using for years. It was a blast to work with. Sure, we only took it out for 1 day. I'm actually gonna bring it out this coming week just for my own personal fun fishing. Like, I really, really, really enjoyed this bait. I think it's a fair price. It's durable. I really like Zoom's stuff in general, so I should have expected to like this bait so much. It's just something I've overlooked. There's so many different lures, so many different craws out there, and I had never thrown it before, but I'm in love, man. I absolutely like this bait a lot. I'm gonna rate this bad boy right now. We're gonna give it 5 stars, and that does not come lightly. I do not give a lot of 5-star ratings to baits out there, even when I really, really, really like them, but I absolutely love this. This could be like a cornerstone of my tackle selection, my new go-to craw. Big fan. Anyhow, guys, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and I hope y'all get some good fish on. I got a really, really fun one planned for next week. I'll catch y'all later.